Hello, and thanks for joining us again. I'm joined today by my guest, the lovely Emily Graham from the Agent Design Kit. Hello, Emily, how are you doing?
Yeah, well, good. Thank you. Yourself?
Yeah, very well, thank you. We spoke recently, and we sort of touched on what it is that your business does in terms of delivering a almost ready to post designs for agents across social media. And we touched on this last time, but it was about the messaging behind those social media posts as to whether or not it's sensible for an agent to go in kind of full sales, like buy, and sell, or whether in fact it's more sensible these days to maybe take a bit of a seat back and just gently approach your audience with some more subtle messaging. And never will this be more true than in the run up to Christmas. We'll soon start to see
Yeah.
lots and lots of adverts splashed across our television screens. I think we've got to get past Black Friday first. I think we'll get all of those sales messages first. Um, and then obviously in the run up to Christmas, there's the usual retail push, which everybody sees, and I think it's probably fair to say that members of the public get a little bit tired and fatigued of these messages.
Yeah.
And if you are clever, so in the run up to Christmas, one of the things we always wait for every year, it's always in every newspaper, is for instance the John Lewis video campaigns, and it's never get down to John Lewis and buy this sofa because it's on sale. It's
Mhm.
always a much more subtle message. So how can you, Emily, help agents to achieve the same kind of thing on a perhaps a slightly different scale?
Well, weirdly enough, I was actually doing a post today about subtle marketing, and obviously with the run up to Christmas. And I was actually talking about how the John Lewis advert is always, even though it's kind of slash the cash, it's always a big kind of everyone waits for it. It's never about them, if that makes sense. There's always
Yeah.
like an emotional story to it. Okay. But then if you look at their kind of partner company, Waitrose, when they bring out their Christmas adverts, they're focusing on the products and the food, which is weird because obviously they're the same kind of company, but they're looking at two different ways of marketing. However, if you actually look at them both, they're never really pushy companies. They're not kind of in your face. It's very subtle. Um, it's kind of about that kind of this is us, this is who we are, kind of that rapport, focusing more on how to gently and subtly market things rather than buy. Okay, which is unfortunately some agents are still doing. And this is where I kind of, from a marketing perspective, I kind of want to, especially at Christmas, get agents to focus more on subtle marketing. Okay. Now, what I mean by this is rather than still posting, obviously, I know Christmas time can be quite a quiet period for estate agents, and rather kind of getting ready for the new year, going, these are our fees, these are our new year deals, kind of thing, very in your face. There's no rapport behind it, there's no kind of emotional connection, there's no psychology into it. Um, Therefore, kind of it's very, there's nothing there. There's
it,
no.
it it sort of becomes part of a marketing noise as opposed to being a
Yeah.
message that resonates personally with that particular person. So how do agents strike that personal chord with a give us some scenarios in which perhaps a tone of voice makes all the difference?
So a lot of a lot of the content, obviously, we do the agent design kit focuses on kind of we're the solution to your problem. It's about you. It's not about us. It's not about our fee. It's not about we're the best agent in the town. This is what we're doing. This is us. This is us. It's about, you know, what are you looking for? What are you doing? What do you need? And it's about kind of we're the solution, you've got a problem, okay, we're here to fix it, but not in the sense of are you looking to sell, if so we're here, kind of thing. It's about that gentle tone. um and that's kind of where it comes into Christmas, because like I said, you don't need posting all that, ready for the new year kind of things like that, as much as you do, okay, maybe wait till a bit after Christmas. So kind of them 2 weeks between Christmas and New Year, where you can't really post Christmas graphics anymore. You can do the whole kind of New Year, new home graphics. It's there, but it's not still like this is our fee.
Yeah.
This is
It,
why you choose us.
it's not trying to sort of ram it down your throat. And I suppose that's more or less the message of Christmas. If we're going to get a bit touchy-feely, then Christmas is all about goodwill, and it should be anyway, about people sort of spending time with their families and their loved ones. And at least this year, now that COVID seems to be a little bit more behind us, the gloves are now well and truly off, and we can gather. This will be the first year for a lot of people in maybe 2 years where they can have a normal Christmas dinner with a wide range of friends and family. So
We hope
I'm hoping so. I'm hoping so. I'm pushing for that. But the point is that there is a bit of normality there. Don't ruin it by forcing a sort of a harsh sales message into the living room of every potential vendor that you might come across.
exactly. And kind of, so what I would really advise is what we'll be doing with the agent design kit would be things like last year, working with obviously Roy, which I know a lot of you know, his company Evolution, we did a Where's Roy? Okay. So kind of like a Where's Wally, but it was with Roy and he was dressed up in kind of a Santa's hat, proper in a Christmas kind of graphic.
Yeah.
Okay. And it worked really well. And I had a lot of agents, because it went so well on our social media, we pushed it then onto the social media groups, obviously for estate agents, things like that. And a lot of estate agents were like, wow, this is great. Like, can we use this? Can we have one? Kind of thing. So that's kind of the content we'll be doing on the agent design kit again this year, and fun competitions, recipes. It's not as much as agents, when they look at properties, it's just kind of they think that the only thing they can talk about is kind of selling or letting. However, if you actually think about property as a whole, it's a massive, massive subject to talk about. You've got things like interior design, so you've got like Christmas trees, what's your Christmas decor, best decorated house. There's a lot of things you can talk about, like outside it.
Yeah.
How are you going to lay your Christmas table this year? Things like that, different ideas that you can bounce off people, and people can actually look at that post and go, wow, I really like that. That's actually a really good idea. You can get people to then say, comment with your pictures. That works really well. And things like that. It gets that engagement up. It gets that time of year. It gets the Christmas spirit going. And that is what people like. And you're creating that rapport, showing that you're not just focused on sales. If you're seen to be that local person, charitable, you want to be doing things that aren't necessarily always about the selling and the letting. You want to be branching out. But obviously, as long as you're talking still about property, it's still under that umbrella.
So I take it that the agent design kit, you'll have a range of different designs that will and templates that will enable agents very simply using Canva or whatever system that they're using, but principally Canva, to really adapt those templates very easily to their look and feel that they're looking to try and achieve. And they can even tailor the message ever so slightly as well, can't they?
100%, yeah. So obviously they can download and go. They can edit them if they want to with their own kind of logos and branding, or they can change the message completely if they want to. It's completely up to them. Now, recently I've had some people saying, well, if it's on Canva, can I just do it myself? You can if you want to, but the point of the agent design kit is it's there to save you time. Okay, I mean, this is what I do for a job. I'm a graphic designer as part of digital media marketing. It can take me up to an hour to create one graphic alone. Now, that includes thinking of the ideas, actually putting them together, seeing what works, what doesn't work, then creating the captions. Obviously, if that takes an hour and you're doing it yourself, that's actually, you're doing one graphic a day, that's 7 hours a week you could be saving, which obviously adds up. That's 7 hours that you could list a couple of properties with,
Yeah,
you know?
and it's a great time of the year to look at other things like prospecting and other things that agents will be busy with. So social media marketing and getting that right is one thing that they need to do. You're
Yeah,
going to save them that time. And this
100%.
Christmas, really, the gift that Agent Design Kit are giving you, they're giving you your time back, which is almost invaluable. And it's the only way to get hold of it is to use tech efficiently,
Yeah,
in order to deliver that. And your package does exactly that. So you want to see agents this year sort of really kind of embracing positive messages around Christmas. So if you've got people in your office that are into Christmas, and there'll always be a little bit of office chat about what you're doing for Christmas dinner and how you're going to set the table and what your ideas may be, what you're buying for the kids. Try and work those into your marketing message. If you've got an office Christmas Grinch, it's probably the right time to out them as well and kind of get them out there, because all of these themes resonate with the public. They love that, that campaign that was done a few years ago where you have these sort of naughty elves that get themselves into all sorts of trouble. I think that's probably getting a little bit old now, but the point is people get behind it because it's easy to do.
yeah.
It's something fun and it's something simple. Kids understand it, adults get it, and so it means that you're seen as a more friendly, likable agent. And when it comes to choosing an agent, I know who I'd rather go with.
At the end of the day, people like people. And this is kind of fixes in obviously with video marketing. If you're putting your face out there a lot, doing a lot of videos, a lot of some agents are doing, like obviously Roy, they're doing cinematic videos, like where they walk around with a property and they talk about the property. That's fantastic. I know where we live, there's only one or two agents apart from Roy that actually do it. And we get a lot of people say that for them as like possible vendors, that's great, because you're giving that emotional kind of connection to the person that's actually wanting to view, rather than just your bog standard pictures. So if you have kind of a mix of video content with these subtle marketing and things like that, you've got a great social media presence and your followers just keep going, and that following will just turn into a future pipeline.
And if, like Roy, you've got a great idea that you think other agents might benefit from, and that Emily can work into the mix at the Agent Design Kit, reach out to Emily. All their details are on their Kerfuffle page. Always receptive. I mean, I suppose that's the nice thing about your company as well. You're not just sort of dictating to agents blindly, this is what you should post. You're very much open to collaboration. And if an agent says, hey, listen, Emily, and look, I think this is going to be really successful this year, you can start to sort of pivot in that direction, can't you?
Yeah, I always say to agents, because we have the Facebook group as well, um, where they can reach out to me, so they can reach me by telephone, email, or just even Facebook Messenger. If you've got something that you think, I really want to do this, but I'm not that creative when it comes to tech, I don't really know how to put it together, just ping me a message, and if I can, I'll create some things, put them together, put them on the kit, done.
Excellent. All right. Thank you very much for joining us today,
Thanks
Emily.
for having me.